Hi, my name is Jill Bates, and thanks for joining me today. New ideas and concepts can be exciting and scary. Exciting because it's new and most likely is something the creator sees as a benefit to others. Scary because it can be a lot of work to get others to believe in your idea and to prove, before it even starts, that it will be a success. So where do you even begin? Anyone wanting to innovate or facing problems characterized by uncertainty needs to understand when and how to apply the innovator's method to increase their chances of success. Although there are studies that determine the measurements of uncertainty, that shouldn't discourage organizations or individuals from trying new things. What it may do is provide insight to how much planning needs to be invested into the new product or service that is being proposed. The goal? How to get customers invested in this new idea. The innovator's method starts with generating insights into potential customer problems by looking for surprises or other clues, such as symptoms of the problem. By surprise, I simply mean something new that was learned unexpectedly. If this new surprise brought up questions for you, others likely have the same questions, and the issue may be worth investigating. Thus, innovation is born. There are 4 key behaviors that generate associated thinking: questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting. Associated thinking opens one's mind to connect unrelated information or ideas and put them together in new ways. Questioning gives groups the opportunities to ask the whys and the what ifs. Exploring all the options is the first step in finding the solution or product that may work best. Then observe by putting yourself directly in the environment. How is a manager of a grocery store going to truly understand the experience of the customer if he isn't willing to put himself in the customer's shoes? See the store as a diverse customers to ensure all customers have a pleasurable experience at different times of the day or week. If you find an issue or two, don't be afraid to network. Others in the industry have likely faced similar situations. Ask what has worked well for them. Build off their stories of success and failures and find what works best for you. Before putting all your eggs in one basket and fully investing into a single solution, experiment on a smaller scale first. Test it out, get feedback, and decide if there are any changes to be made before deciding what path you will go down. While asking questions, consider a broader approach to your thinking. Can your product or solution impact any other areas that you haven't considered? If you incorporated something from another industry, could it enhance your product or idea? Think and search broadly. Another great idea is to get ideas from others. Open the door to explore what employees are thinking. They are the ones that work with the products and use the processes directly. Where do they see opportunities? Creating a platform for others to share their ideas is a great way not only to value their opinions, but to get them involved with creating forward thinking of the organization. To find the problem, you first need to understand the job your service or product is supporting. For example, a hospital cares for sick patients. While it is important to focus attention on the care practices of the hospital, a broader question to ask is, how can we make an impact on preventative care to cut down on admission rates? Focusing on the job to be done or what outcomes your customers are really looking for will help narrow down the problem you will want to focus on. You may find several small problems along the way, but you want to focus on a monetizable job. Jobs that will include a large group of customers with the same or similar need or problem who have the money and are willing to pay to solve it. There are potentially 3 different customer types for any particular job. The economic customer will be the one paying for it. The technical customer is the one who installs it, and the end customer is the one who will use it. Understanding how your solution will affect all customers involved will also help in creating the job to be done. So how do you find that monetizable job? Unlike our focus on insight, finding the job to be done takes more than reports, surveys, or focus groups. Instead, some companies have used painstorming to focus on customers' biggest pain points before jumping into a solution. Painstorming, similar to brainstorming, involves 5 steps to help find clarity of what you think the problem is before testing any hypothesis. Those 5 steps are: generate a problem hypothesis identifying the customer and the job to be done. What do you think an important problem is for a specific customer population? Next, create a journey line for the customer and identify pain points and emotions. In other words, know the journey of the customer. Put yourself in their shoes. Then select the biggest pain points and conduct a root cause analysis. This can be done by asking a series of why questions. Pick a root cause that you think is most important to customers. This should become evident after asking your why questions. You may see a pattern evolve or a similar problem in various places. This will be the root cause you focus on. Create a list of questions about the root cause. These questions will be answered through direct observation of and experiment with customers. One of the best ways to find the root cause is taking the fly in the wall approach or actively putting yourself in the environment of your customers to gain deeper insight into their lives. By taking this time, you will learn their likes, dislikes, what inspires them, and some of their challenges. Develop a customer profile that more accurately identifies who your customers are. If you remember the show Undercover Boss, that show did just that. CEOs or upper leadership would come out from behind the desk and do the job themselves. Taking the time to interact with other employees and customers to better understand what their day-to-day work of life consisted of, what common issues they faced, and what the customers were ultimately looking for. Once you feel as though you have nailed down the problem, it's time to see how your customers would feel or react to your solution. We can do this by conducting 2 tests. The first is called the cold call test. This involves reaching out to customer groups, explaining the problem and hypothesized solution, and asking for their advice. If very few provide feedback, you may not have a problem worth solving, or it's not quite right yet, that enough people care or understand the problem and or solution you are presenting. On the other hand, if you have a high amount of feedback returns, you are on the right path. When trying to achieve a 50% callback rate or higher, it's important to observe along the way who isn't calling back. Is your solution inclusive of all your customers, or is your approach too narrow? Once you have that 50% or higher return rate, it's time to move forward. The other test that can be used is called the smoke test. This test looks for holes in your solution. To perform a smoke test, create a website, advertisement, phone number, or other channel that describes the problem, theoretical solution, and provides an option to learn more, buy more, reserve more, or some other call to action. If your response rate is greater than 5%, you have likely identified a problem worth solving. Reach out to those that responded and gain more insight into why they responded and what they would like to see. After gaining more insight directly from your customers, create a vision template of the issue being focused on and the data you have collected. This vision will help you stay on track as you continue to move forward. Although up to this point may feel like a very slow process, starting with a solution can be a waste of time and resources if you don't take the time to truly understand the problem. Producing Band-Aid-like solutions to surface-level issues will only delay solving the core issue that is the root of all other problems. Once you have gathered the data, it's time to solution storm. This involves coming up with several solution options before testing them with customers. All suggestions should be included in the solution storming process, as it may lead to something that will be used and built on later. Look at what customers may be already doing to solve the problem. Are there any companies out there that have tools in place that could be used to resolve your issue? The other types of things to look at is what has someone else tried that didn't work? Don't be afraid to think outside the box and focus on the future and how the solution will help customers moving forward. The most exciting solutions are ones customers didn't even know they needed or wanted. Once you have a selection of solutions that may work best, it's time to test those solutions with customers. While testing the easiest may feel like the right choice or the most popular choice, Furr and Dyer, authors of the Innovator's Method, suggest the following. First, think of different themes or characteristics among the solutions, such as ease of use or high performance. Then select an option from each theme to explore so that you can observe how customers respond. Second, define the proposed solutions along a dimension or spectrum. Decide how bold the solution is and how easy or difficult it would be to obtain. Explore solutions on both ends of the spectrum. This helps start broad and narrow down what may be the most realistic solution. Third, once you have selected solutions to test, notice solutions is plural, write down your assumptions or a list of questions that will need to be answered. Once solutions have been narrowed down, it's time to create prototypes to test those solutions. There are 4 types of prototypes that can be used. In order from simplest, with the fastest learning cycle, to the most elaborate and the slower learning cycles are shown in this slide. They start with theoretical, virtual, minimum variable, and end with minimum awesome product. A theoretical prototype stays pretty general. Nothing is actually built, and the test is based on a mental image. It asks your customers questions such as, if you could do this or purchase something like this, would you? A virtual prototype is taking an idea and instead of building it to scale, you fake it in a sense. It's a low-cost solution to test if the product or solution is worth investing in fully. A minimum variable prototype uses the concept of the idea and presents a basic model to gain insight directly from customers before investigating into the product or solution fully. Adding too many features right away can also lure customers in and cause an oversight into the problem you are trying to fix. In this instance, it's better to go narrow versus broad. That leads us to the minimum awesome product. After testing and observation, it's time to take that data to create a product that customers will love. The goal is to deliver a solution that is so extraordinary on the most important dimension that it inspires positive emotion in your customers. The most important dimension of a business model is the solution. The business model is the overall strategy for delivering value to and capturing value from customers. Creating a snapshot of your business model captures all areas that will go into creating the solution. First, you want to present what solution you are providing for an identified problem. Next is presenting how the solution will be funded, the optimum price for the solution, and the revenue that will ultimately be created from the solution. Optimum pricing is important to figure out. The price needs to cover the cost of producing the final product or solution, be at a price point customers are willing to spend, and create revenue for the organization. Then the organization cost-effective decide how they will advertise the solution to maximize the number of customers it will reach. This will be part of the customer acquisition. Not only do you need to reach the maximum number of customers, but you need something that will convince them to buy. To maximize the number of customers you can reach, it may be helpful to use a consumption train. This focuses on awareness. Are your customers aware of your product or solution? Evaluating what your product or service is used for, and will customers influence others to buy into it? How can customers purchase your product or service? Make sure it's easily obtainable and competitive in price and performance. Then ask if there are anything about the product or service that can lead to frustrations. Having a customer-friendly product or service is important. If customers need outside resources to understand or use the product, it may deter them from investigating. Finally, will customers promote your product? Your product should be easy to use, affordable, and cause an emotional connection. These are the things that lead to word-of-mouth advertising and promotion. The final part of the business model is cost structure that will include key activities and resources. The key activities are those processes the firm or its partners must engage in to operate successfully, from software design to manufacturing to product delivery or service. Knowing the resources that are already in place to accomplish these activities is important. Knowing the cost of each of these steps to ensure you are providing a high-quality product the most cost-effective way may take some time and investigating, and may actually lead you to other companies that you can invest in and partner with. Once your product or solution is made public, that isn't the end. It's important to continue to monitor and collect data. You may find what you thought would work isn't working as well as you would like, and you may need to pivot a little. The need to make changes is not a failure of your product or service. It should be viewed as a bump in the road and a learning experience to grow from. You will eventually find the product or solution that works best for you and your customers. Thank you for your time today. I hope this was helpful. Thanks.